Hello World of Tanks community. Today I thought I'd go over when to use coated optics or binocs for tank destroyers. So you may have noticed that sometimes players will run binocs and then other times they'll run optic. I thought I'd make a video to help you with. And for starters, I'd like to point out that everyone's tolerance level is different. So start with Jack, or what I call my M36. Okay, C489 for view range. Move these. It's 363. Well, that's way too low. 391, still way too low. Let's go with optics. 430, still way too low. For the sake of this experiment, let's say we're not going to use injector tuning and instead right angle periscope. 448. Now this goes over 445, which is the maximum spotting range, but there's some things you need to know. For starters, just because your view range reaches 445 does not mean that you'll spot an enemy. You could have it at 445 and then an enemy will not appear until 400. It's because of how view range mechanics are in this game. So, my suggestion, and this is a fairly simple one. For starters, you want binocs on the M36. Do not waste your time with optics. Its base view range is 370. That's way too low to use optics. The T25-2 is, its base view range is 380, I believe. 372, I thought it was 380. Yeah, let me see this. 380. Oh, that's right, because of injector tuning. Okay, there we go, 380. 10 more is not much better. So I could give it optics. Now, 460 is not bad, it's still too low for what I'd want on a tank destroyer. But one is getting very close. Let's say you had 390. Now, this number is where you can start thinking about optics. And I believe World of Tanks user or player skill for it uses optics on his Grill 15. 390 is the most minimum I'd go if you want to start considering optics. Okay, right angle periscope. 429. Let's give you scouting. And optics. Right at 480. Now at 480, like I said, that's when you can get away with optics, especially if you have the scouting slot. Even at 390, I'd still say you could have either or. So you could have binocs, see? Glorious view range. But if you do not want to use binocs, you can get away with optics. Basically, 390 or more, optics becomes optional. Keep that word in mind, optional. What you could do, at 390, I'd be weighing it in, could use bounty optics for 83. Did I put anything else in the mobility slot? Or not mobility, scouting that would be useful. No. About survivability. Nope. Well, 390 optics. And even better, the bounty optics. Let's see. For 87. There is a tank destroyer that you'd really want to use optics on just because it can get away with it. And I believe this tank destroyer has one of the highest view ranges. Is it the Nash one or the Dicker Max? There's one of these two. Is it the Nash one? No, it was not the Nash one. Yes, Dicker Max, 400 base view range. You can definitely use optics on that. Who needs binocs on this thing? Look at this, 475. Let's see, when I want injector tuning on this. Oh, that would give false hope. Okay, right angle periscope. There we have it. Dicker Max, definitely use optics. Actually not one final thing. I'll go over the Scorpion as an example. So Scorpion's 461, and this is at tier 7. 471, that's not bad. Do not let tier cloud your judgment. This is a tier 7. Let's give it optic. 414. That's just terrible. This is a tier 7. Let's use field mods and 422. See? It's terrible. And this is a tier 7. This with 422. And then this is a tier 6. Gotta love the M36. I would not use optics on my M36. I believe I stated that in the beginning of this video. 430. And this is a tier 6. To this being the Scorpion, which is a tier 7. Well, I have to set this all up again, but yes. Do not let tier be the deciding factor. See, a T103. Now you could run, what's the base view range on this? See, you could run optics on this. Now, the only reason I did not want to, I could if I wanted to. I just like seeing this high number. See, do I have everything? Oh, right. Cruise skills. Right in my face. Okay, look at that. That is just... You'd have to be sitting still, which is the T103's turret. It's not as good as a vision system, but 547, you can seriously delete a lot, and I mean a lot of enemy camo. If they come into your 445, yes, they're within your max spotting range, but they still can go unspotted. If your view range goes above 445, which look at this, this is more than 100 above 445. You just start deleting their camo. So this was, I done this just to be a meme. Well, I hope this guide helps you all when playing a tank destroyer. I hope it helps people or players that, well, players are people. I hope it helps those aspiring to be TD mains. And yes, happy hunting out to everyone. Take care.